Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Ayesha from CxO Global Forum, a knowledge sharing platform for all the C levels across Pakistan and around the globe. Every time we're having some very interesting guests with us today as well. We have Mr. Muhammad Ashaar Saeed with us, who is the Chief Human Resources Officer at Alkaram Studio. Assalamualaikum sir, how are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm very good. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm looking forward to this chat.
Likewise, sir. So it is 8 p.m. in Pakistan now, sir. How was your day so far?
Oh, wonderful. So far, so good. At Alkaram Studio, you have already mentioned that in my intro. So I'm enjoying every bit of my assignment here. So it's a lot of excitement, I would say, roller coaster as well. But yes, so far
Right.
so
Okay. So, starting off with this discussion, I would want you yourself to please let our audience know who basically Mr. Usher is before starting off with the detailed conversation about you.
fair enough. I'll try to keep it as quick and precise as possible.
Sure.
You've already mentioned my name. Thank you very much for that. And I am an HR professional for the last over 2 decades. Before that, I was a banker as well. Having said that, so this has been a journey of sorts. I have worked for all kinds of organizations and all kinds of industries as well. So right from MNCs to banks to family-owned enterprises when it comes to the type of organizations, and also when I count the industries, I think I have crossed 10. So yes, it has been a really diversified journey, so to say.
Right. Okay. So, sir, after knowing everything that you've mentioned, I would want to know what initially attracted you to a career in human resource, and how did you develop your perspective on this field, which is evolving over time?
All right. I think that would be an interesting start to our discussion. So, as I said very briefly, that I was a banker in the first 9 years of my career, and I
Right.
was in an area of banking that is known as credit and risk management, which is one of the core areas of a bank. And from there, I shifted towards HR in the last 22 years, to be specific, have been in HR. My advent into HR came not as anything that was planned. It was
Mm-hmm.
more of something that I was intuitionally looking for, but I was not very sure that this is the area I have to get into. So when I was sitting at MCP Bank Limited, where I was in credit and risk management, I one day I received a call from one of my friends who said that I have heard that Faisal Bank is looking for a training manager, and here you are. You have been here for 9 years. You are perhaps not enjoying your assignment as you share with us, and here is an opportunity that you can apply for. And instead of being thankful to him, I said, "Look, I am working in a very prestigious area of a bank, and you want me to go into training? I mean, training people are not really that regarded for. When an organization has to take a cut on the people, the training people goes out the first. So he said that it's your choice. I'm just giving you an option, and you, if you want to avail it. So anyway, long story short, I went for the interviews, and I got selected.
Right.
And then I ended up joining Faisal Bank, and that was my advent into HR and training. And I have loved every single day after that, because when I was in credit and risk management, it was a wonderful area. I learned a lot, but it wasn't really my aptitude. So I was never a numbers person, so to say. So I got into an area which is people's area, and I'm enjoying absolutely greatly in this area.
Right, right. Thank you for the whole background, sir. I would want to ask what has been the most rewarding aspect of you working in the human resource part?
Aisha, the most rewarding aspect, and I've thought through and I've reflected on this as well, that what not only brought me to this area, but what has sustained me in this area and has given me, I would say, unprecedented growth is the
Right.
fact that I enjoy and I thrive on people. So when it comes to adding value to people's life, creating a difference in their life, creating an impact, that is something that really excites me and triggers me, so to say. And that's precisely the reason why I have enjoyed every single day in this particular profession.
Right, right. So, sir, I would want to know who were some of your mentors or key influences, I would say, if any, and how did you shape, your approach towards HR through them?
I've been very blessed. So I've been blessed with amazing. I would say all of us are blessed with amazing parents. So am I. So is the case with my friends. I am too blessed in that area as well. But when it comes to mentors, the story has been the same. So when I recall my mentors, Mr. Khalid Tirmizi, who was the country general manager of Faisal Bank at that point in time, 2002, then Mr. Sirajuddin Aziz, the president of Bank Al Falah and later on of Habib Metro Bank, and currently he is banking ombudsman, has played an
Right,
instrumental role in shaping my career. So, and later on, then when I was at Reckitt, Mr. Ali Ahmed Khan, who was the CEO at that point in time. And now I am working with a CEO who's not only young, but very, very energetic and very visionary, Miss Mehvish Valiani, the CEO of Alkaram Studio. All these people have chipped in with their bit in different ways and forms. And that has been a real blessing in my career.
right, right. Okay. So, sir, I would want to ask what were some of the specific challenges that you faced in your journey in becoming I would ask, the Chief Human Resource Officer? And those challenges might have taught you something. If yes, then what were some of those valuable lessons?
Okay, so the greatest challenge I think any HR professional faces in their careers is understanding humans. Because HR is all about humans, HR is all about people. And when you are interacting with people, they have different needs. And why they have
Right,
different needs? Because all humans are different. And humans are different because God Almighty was never short on design. So He created us all in different ways. And from
definitely.
that perspective, it becomes really challenging to understand their needs, their aptitude, their the way they want to progress in their careers. What they Someone wants to be very focused on career growth. The other person is very focused on compensation. The third one is very focused on learning opportunity. So this variance and this difference in people actually makes it very challenging for an HR professional to cater to their needs and their requirements. And that's where you need to connect with them to understand them better so that you can come up with a I wouldn't really say customized solution for each one of them because that is not really possible, but as much closer to their needs as possible. That remains the single biggest challenge in HR career.
Right, right. Okay. So, sir, I would want to ask what skills or qualities do you believe are essential for a successful career in HR, especially in the leadership role?
Okay, so basically, when we look at the leadership role, Aisha, we need to understand and appreciate that the two core roles of an HR head, of a CHRO, whatever you want to term it as,
Mhm.
are in having a talent pipeline in place. So having backups in place, having a great database of people for the roles which are required in your organization, and then
Right,
once the talent pipeline is there, then whoever out of that talent pipeline joins your organization, you need to keep them engaged. These are the two core roles of a CHRO. So now, in order to achieve that, there are various things, various initiatives that a CHRO has to get into and has to enable in order to keep this talent engaged in the organization. More so in today's world, where engagement has become a real challenge.
okay. So, sir, another important question that I came up with is, everybody has career accomplishments. So, what was one of your career accomplishment or a project, I would say, that stands you out in as particularly, I would say, fulfilling and impactful?
All right. So I have been an HR head slash CHRO now from 2008. So it has been now 16 years that I have been working in this capacity in one organization or the other. So there have been, alhamdulillah, various things that I can look back with a lot of pride, right from introducing a management trainee program in an organization to coming up with values of the organization at another place or coming up with an employee engagement survey in order to gauge the needs and requirements and the feel and the pulse of the people in the organization, and then coming up with an action plan to address those needs and get as closer to the expectations of the people as possible, or coming up with some very tailor-made coaching programs for senior executives where
Right.
they were brilliant in whatever they were doing, but they needed to be guided or they needed to be handholded in certain areas, which actually took their performance from one level to the next level. So have been
Right.
through, I mean, been there, done that, Wali story.
Okay, okay, right. So, sir, I would want to ask, how do you stay inspired and I would say energized in a field that often involves a lot of problem solving and people management? Because, as you said, understanding people is most of one of the most difficult parts here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think a very, very pertinent question and not an easy one, to be honest. But just to just to come up with a satisfactory answer, first thing is very important. I'm very fond of understanding and operating on principles. And when we say
Right.
principles, when the big picture is clear, then it becomes very easy for you to come up with operational strategies if you're clear on the big picture. And the big picture here is in terms of career, no matter what anyone is doing, it could be HR, it could be supply chain, it could be marketing, sales, finance, whatever. If you are passionate about what you're doing, and if you really resonate with it, then it becomes much easier for you to perform well in that particular profession. So in my case, what has really helped me is that I'm passionate about people. And when I'm passionate about people, I listen to them carefully. I love to spend time with them. I love to understand them. My empathy level has really gone up and has really helped me also. Because in HR, if you cannot empathize with people, you'll not be able to catch on what they are feeling and what do they
Definitely.
exactly want. So from that perspective, when it comes to HR, other than passion, which is true for all professions, then your empathy, then your ability to listen, then your ability to connect with the audience, who are your customers, it really becomes easy to address the challenges in the organization, especially the people challenges.
Right, right. Okay. So, sir, I would want to ask, how do you balance between your personal life and your professional life?
Okay, so to put it in my CEO's words, uh, work-life balance is nothing that can come, 50-50, absolutely calculated in a calculated fashion that you're giving 50% time to work and 50% to your other life. But yes, we all should be focused on the fact that how much balance can we achieve. It's not always ideal. So we need to understand it that the way I do it is that I give full marks and full time to my work, but at the same time I try to balance it. Some days I would sit late, some days I wouldn't, especially when there are occasions, when there are celebrations back at home, then I have to be in time with the family. Because what I have
Yes.
learned, in the words of the one of the global CEOs of Coke, he said that we are juggling balls all our lives. All balls are made of rubber except one that is made of glass, and that is family. So if that comes down, it gets broken. So from that
Hmm.
perspective, we need to keep family a bit above, because that's what that they are the ones whom we are working for at the end of the day, and we shouldn't lose sight of that. But at the same time, one should be doing justice to the profession as well, because that's what is sustaining you. Not only giving you that satisfaction that you're creating a difference, but at the same time, it's sustaining you as well in terms of what we bring home. So yes, difficult to achieve this balance, but then one should always be striving for that.
Right, understood. Okay, so sir, outside of work, what are some of your hobbies or interests I would ask that you're passionate about?
Okay, so I have quite a few actually. So when I say quite a few, there are some which are related to my profession, which I do outside of work, and then there are some that are unrelated. So the ones that are related, I'm doing one of them right now. I love to go to forums, I love to go to conferences, I love to contribute, I love to chip in with my bit that whatever I have gathered from my mentors in so many years, I'm able to share that with the younger ones with the ones who are not perhaps in that area or aspiring to come into HR. So I really enjoy that. And I do not leave an opportunity where I can do that. So that is one. The other thing that I'm very fond of, obviously, are sports. So I love playing as well as watching cricket. I also love poetry. So I'm a big time poetry buff. So especially when it comes to Urdu poetry.
Understood. Okay. Sahi. So, sir, what would be that one advice that you would want to give to somebody who is looking forward to build their career towards the human resources HR side?
Look, first of all, a lot of people that I meet from last many years, especially in last 5, 6, 7 years, I find people, looking for some very definitive answers. They want to be extremely clear about, for example, a young man or a lady would come in and would say that this is what I've done my majors in, and this is what I want to pursue, and I would like to take it to its culmination, to the glories and heights that we know of. And when I'm listening to all that, I'm smiling, because at the end of the day we do not know honestly that where we will end up. So when I am sitting in front of you as an HR professional, uh, 20 years ago, I did not know that I would ever become an HR professional. I was a
Right.
banker. And before that, when I was doing my BBA and MBA from IBA, I was a marketing major. I always wanted to become a brand manager. So at that
Right.
time, if someone would have interviewed me, I would have vehemently said that I want to become a marketing director at the end of my career, or a CEO. But that's not how what divinity has planned for me. So here I am in front of you. So what I tell others, that our job in life, we need to be very clear on that, is to make effort. Our job is not to be concerned about the result, because results will take its own course. So we need to keep chipping in with our bit. And obviously, there is no harm in having a plan, but some plans are not really realized. So that should not really, concern us, or that should not really depress us. कि जी अब तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा, and it's all over, और अब जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं रहा. So that's not the
Definitely.
idea. The idea is to keep putting in that effort. And for HR professionals, coming to a more specific part of your question, people have to be, I mean, HR professional has to be someone who enjoys being with people.
Right. Okay. So, sir, thank you for these advices. I hope they help out our viewers as much as they can. Lastly, how would you describe your experience with CXO Global Forum?
My experience with CxO Global Forum, in terms of knowledge exchange, in terms of coming to know of so many amazing people who are working in Pakistan and beyond, because CxO is now not about Pakistan only. It's about multiple
Right.
countries where CxO Global is working and gathering people, bringing them to forums, motivating them, recognizing them as well. So I think a great platform that has been created by Kamal, and I have enjoyed every single bit of it. Actually, I would encourage other people as well to participate actively on this forum, because there are lots of talk shows that are happening. There are lots of fireside chats, conferences, award shows. So people are encouraged to participate in them as much as they can, alongside their other professional assignments and responsibilities, because this is how we are going to leverage each one of them and do something, bigger for our country. So
Definitely.
I really encourage everyone.
Right. Thank you for the feedback, sir. Done with this short interaction here, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that our viewers would be able to learn from you as much as possible. And once again, thank you for pulling out time for this discussion.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I also thoroughly enjoyed, and I hope all those who listen to it would come up with their feedback. That could be both constructive or not, perhaps as constructive, where I also get an opportunity to improve upon myself. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Bye.